Hi guys, my name is Pippa Ryan and I'm the Jemison brand ambassador on the Beat team. In this section, I'll be bringing you through how to taste different spirits and cocktails. So, let's jump right in. First of all, when it comes to tasting, stop expecting your taste to be the exact same as everyone else's. Taste is just as personal when it comes to spirits and cocktails as it is with food. Tasting is nothing more than, a matter of personal taste. I believe strongly that blind tasting is the only way to taste honestly, as it truly concentrates your senses. Once you have a lot of experience in spirits and you understand a bit more about different brands, you'll immediately know what the product is supposed to taste like. If you taste with the label facing you, you know the identity of the beverage, and you won't learn as much. Nuances, differences, even large-scale changes in production methods will mostly go unnoticed because your senses won't be as keenly focused. Even the best taster is subject to prejudice. The only way to truly allow your senses to do their magic is to taste blindfolded. Once you've tasted and familiarized yourself with the top 3 or 4 gin brands, once any new brand is offered to you, your best option is to taste alongside with the 1 or 2 brands that you already know. In that way, you'll have a quick frame of reference to tell a customer that Plymouth gin is perhaps more citrusy than Hendrick's, or less juniper intense than Tanqueray. Perhaps even more importantly, you can guide yourself and your colleagues when it comes to the time to create a cocktail from the gin. After all, bartenders are the creative kind of people who know how to adjust a recipe to suit a customer or to suit the brand. Smell is our most primordial sense. It's the only one of our senses, for instance, that instigates the strangely compelling feeling of déjà vu. We all have 2 membranes located on either side of the nose, beneath our cheeks, that collect data from aromatic molecules that land on them when we inhale the aromas of beverage alcohol, or anything for that matter. These sticky membranes have about 350 sensors that send data directly to our brain. Not surprisingly, here's the biggest secret of tasting. It's not really tasting as much as it is smelling. Over 2/3 of the characteristic aromas and flavors of any brand are all from the nose. In wine tasting, we could probably state that almost all of it is in the nose. One of the strong differences between spirits is the alcohol level. You can smell the difference, but you can't really discover if the spirit is poorly cut and hot or well cut and rich and textured. And you won't know if the spirit is imbalanced without putting some in your mouth and rolling it around. We know that some of you are saying, I can't taste, I don't have a good enough palate. Really? Are you saying that you don't care what beer you have at the end of your shift because they all taste the same? Of course not. You are a good taster. You, like all of us with any discipline, just need a bit of guidance in expressing your skill. Most people simply haven't had to apply the words to the task yet. So start by putting 2 spirits next to each other. Start slowly by trying a gin next to a white rum. Take a whiff and by going back and forth looking for the following attributes: vanilla, herbs, coconut, nuts, flowers, pepper, pine, citrus. And if it is citrus, think, what kind of citrus am I picking up? Lemon, lime, orange? Depending upon how sensitive you are to various flavors and aromas, you might find that both are very peppery and both have some herbal aromas. In all likelihood, the rum will have more dominant notes of vanilla, coconut, and perhaps even some nuttiness. The gin should express aromas of pine, citrus, floral notes, herbs, and perhaps many other things, as most gins have at least a dozen botanicals added to them. The trick is we all have to be able to tell our customers and colleagues how a brand is likely to compare to another brand. In order to do that, you've got to have some tasting experience across a broad spectrum. So, to do this, we suggest that you collect other people's ideas as you go. This way, you can learn to convey to other people what you were tasting in understandable terminology. Okay, so let's get started. Most professionals prefer to taste spirits full strength. Others like to cut the bottle strength in half by adding water. So, let's always start as professionals and taste the bottle first at bottle proof. Once you've determined how the product smells and tastes when poured straight from the bottle, then you can sort out what mixing does to them. The words you choose can be your own, of course. But if they're too personal, then others aren't going to understand what they mean, are they? And the whole point of having words to use when describing flavors and aromas is that you can communicate how a given drink will smell and taste. That way, your customers will know if they want to order some. There are 5 fundamental flavors: sweet, salt, sour, bitter, and umami, which is a savory sensation that's best demonstrated by things such as Parmesan cheese and soy sauce. And then there are the intangibles: complexity, balance, and length. You can literally use these words when you start to become accustomed to the broad spectrum of fragrances and flavors in various different spirits categories. So, that's an overview of tasting spirits and cocktails. I hope you found it really useful, and best of luck in putting your tasting knowledge into action behind the bar.